first of all, your stance is really wide.
Yep.
Right? And I mean, you have your spear pointed at me, which is really good. Right? So if I was fighting with sword and shield, what you want to do is get me off my game, right? Can I borrow your shit? I just don't want to get stabbed. I'm just gonna go slow because we've all been fighting. So if we're fighting, right? And now see how you squat it down?
Right.
And as soon as I see that, if I rush you, it kind of feels, right? Yeah, it's like very natural. If you squat down every time we fight, and I start realizing that, and then we go to fight, and I see you squat, I can rush you.
Right.
And then you're kind of stuck on
I
your
get
feet.
caught up, almost like flat.
Exactly, yeah, because you're squatting down to take a shit instead of wanting to fight, right? Fair enough. So yeah, be rigid. I mean, don't be so rigid with your pull. Be a little fluid with it, so that way you can get in and out of stuff. Whenever you just like set and you have that weeaboo style, but you have the three hole, you're just kind of like locked here, right? You have to unlock and choose which to walk, right? So flip blocks with the three hole. If I get a big flip shot somewhere, try to take a step back. Right? So we throw. And if I do a pull, or whatever. Right? So I saw you fight today with this, and I saw you fight the Florentine kid. A little bit over here. When you got on, you went down and choked up on your spear.
You said almost like a fight. My arm got really tired.
Shove it at him, and whenever he blocks too hard, pick the tip up and hit him with it, right? Okay. Or turn it upside down. Turn it down.
Yeah,
That's great.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Sword and Shield. Yeah. Something I've noticed on you is you move your shield too much. It's a bad habit. Yeah. So whenever I throw a feint or something like that, if you just keep your shield in one static position, the chances of me throwing the fake and getting you out of it are real slim, you know, because you have a huge block here. Like for me to throw a shoulder shot on you, I have to be here, this close to you to throw this shoulder shot. And then you only have to move this far to get me to not touch you, right? Touching, not touching. Touching, not touching. Touching, not touching, right? So you don't have to like throw a real hard shot or a real hard block with that shield to get it out of the way. Like just like in the cone of defense, you just barely have to move. Go to the edge of the cone, stay there. Now with your sword leg forward, same stance as we would with anything. Same fighting stance. Turn your left shoulder back. Yeah. So now you're fighting this way. This is really good for aggressive shield fighters. If you fight with your sword leg forward and you step into them with your left leg, people kind of freak out. Now step with your left leg. Now I have this huge shield in my way, right? Now I've got to think, oh God, I've got to get around this. Now, and if he steps another way, any direction, now he's got me completely off my game because I freaked out because of the punch shield being right there, right? Any questions about your fighting style? Like what you do whenever you get into a situation? What I would do when I'm in a situation?
Okay,
Yes.
So you said, I remember last time you said, don't lock the arm.
Yes.
And what I find myself doing is I actually end up locking the arm a lot, but not with the sword, with this. If I'm going to be doing with the shield, because I don't want it to move a lot. I don't need to move it a lot at all.
Right.
But should I still keep that kind of a free form?
Yeah, it should be fluid. It should be, you know, just kind of in a good spot to where whenever you're moving, it kind of keeps moving with you. You know, like you know, it's kind of there. You know, kind of block. And if you could tease your opponent by putting it out in front of you, you know, so do stuff like that. Definitely don't just keep it stiff. If you keep it stiff, you might as well be fighting with a strap shield.
No, I like this because I can do this too, and it covers me a lot more.
Yeah, it just gives you more distance.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you use a strap shield, you pretty much have to keep it here and then move your body back and forth to block. Right? Questions? Yeah. All right, next guy.
I'm at the end. I just couldn't hear over there.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Can y'all hear okay? All right, stand on this side. so I can project.
Yeah, you could speak up a little bit.
Could I speak up a little bit? Is it really quiet?
Yeah.
Oh shit. I mean, damn. I mean,
Snickers.
all right. So what I see wrong here is your shoulders are straight, right? There you go. Yeah. Oh my God. Now move your shield back too, right? Yeah, kind of. Now put your sword like I taught you earlier, the first two fights. Right. So if I was fighting with your shield, I would stand with my shield like this. See how my shoulder's back? Yeah, my shield's down here like this. So I know instinctively if they come in and go to my right side, my left side, your right, I know that they're not going to just first swing there. They're going to fake me to get me to come down, you know, to throw down here. Or they're just going to straight chop me in the shoulder, right? So I just naturally, if they step in and go to my left side, I block here, and then I throw right. And then if I see their sword high cross, I block here. Right?
Okay. Where?
Now try that.
Here?
Kind of just,
Down?
yeah, just a little bit, you know, center chest. Put your fist on center chest. Yeah, so it's just kind of here, right?
Okay.
So now you have all that passive block for anything that comes in this way, right? And if I stab your shield, yes. All right. So now whenever you step, if you step with your left leg, yeah, or that, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you step there, I've got a block and I'm going to return, right? And then you're going to return, right? And then we get stuck in this.
Okay.
And whoever changes
Whoa.
wins. Oh my God! Right? So do you have any questions to go over? What problems do you have with punch shield?
If I turn this much, right? Like I feel like my back is exposed a little bit.
Well, yeah, but you have a sword that has 3 foot of blocking range. So if I'm standing here and I do this, how much are you going to hit?
Not much.
Yeah, you have to go around my sword, right?
Yeah.
So not a whole lot, but I'm not going to be fighting. If you get on my right side, I'm going to step, right? So now I've stepped this way because you're going that way.
Okay, then you'll be square.
Throw, and then come back, right?
Okay.
So if something happens, you just run past me this way, right?
Yeah, so
I'm
we're
just going to
here, right,
keep
and then-
walking
Alright.
to that right side. Right?
Alright.
Fine. Come here, handsome. Am I speaking up louder now?
I got closer.
Guys in the back, am I speaking louder? All right. Turn up your hearing aids. Ear cone? Yeah. All right. What do you have problems with?
Getting stabbed.
You get stabbed a lot?
I get stabbed.
Yeah, well, you're a big guy. That's a big target.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you see them stabbing, they're right-handed, right?
Almost always.
Almost always. So just turn with your right hand, like we practiced earlier, right? We practiced those blocks.
I'm practicing this.
These guys practiced.
I sat in the line.
All right. So in order to do that, they have to get under and throw. Are you fighting with a punch shield?
Yeah.
Yeah. You might want to keep it out just a little bit. If you're going to fight with your right leg forward, can you toss me your punch shield, please? Thank you. So if I have a problem with righty stabbing me, I'm just going to bring this out just a little bit further. So now they see this open shoulder right here. So they're going to want to stab left, I hope, by keeping this here. It's not showing. So now I have it just out a little bit, and if I see them go for a shoulder, I can step, chop, whichever arm, because they're coming from the right side, right? So that's what I would try to do, just a little bit, just to get a little more room between your shield and your tummy. Because if you're holding it on your tummy, this is where my sword has to be to touch me. If I'm holding it way out here, the sword has to be this far to touch me, right? So same way, if I go to stab you, yeah. So the closer it is to your tummy, like let me touch your tummy, all right? Now put your sword up, your shield up, right? Now get your sword over. Or I'm sorry, your shield over, your shield. Yeah, see how far you have to move it? So the further away it is, the less you have to move your shield.
Okay.
So it keeps people, so if I go to fake stab, and then I come up here, you have enough time to just bring your shield back to block that shot, and then block the hip, and then block the shoulder. You know, like you could just follow the sword around, and then reset the fight, just come right back out. You know what I mean? That help? Yeah. Any other questions?
No, I'll just look at that later.
Okay, all right. We're gonna pay off again after this, after I go through everybody. Kind of work on stuff like sword and shield versus pole versus Florentine, et cetera, et cetera.
Are we able to like rotate during that as well?
Yes,
Change
we
up
will.
the weapons?
Yes, we
You
will.
only get a pull. You
That's
made
it.
your
Hey, I
choice.
asked a question.
All right. Shoulders are square. Same problem that he had.
House. What square?
Square. Yeah, a little bit.
Less than
Right? So you're fighting like this. This should be the thing. Right? Can you imitate me?
I'm trying. I can't see the time.
Alright, let's get on this side, right? So if I'm gonna fight against this guy right here, I'm gonna point my sword at him. Right? I'm gonna bring this sword up where my thumb is at my solar plexus. Right? So, okay. Yeah. Now swing your shoulder. Move that foot over. Fight Gordon. Fight that camera. Right? Alright? There you go. A little bit better. So now, whenever you're fighting, your shoulder is a little bit further back. So whenever, now step with your left leg towards me.
Left leg?
Yeah, left leg. Take a stride. That was a shitty stride.
The worst.
Okay, so what I'm trying to say, yeah. So now your shoulder comes this way. I got the shield in front of somebody's face, right? Yeah. So backwards, right? Step, right? Backwards. See how my shoulder always comes back to this right here? Yeah. So left surface area, you have to worry about your shield block. Right? So if they come up with a cross to my left hip, they're just going to throw into my shield, no problem. Right? They're going to throw across to my shoulder, right? And all I've got to do is just move my shield up just a tiny bit. Okay, no problem, right? So if they fake me, then I've got to figure out where my body is, where that would block, to where this would block, right? Right? Okay. Sort of. Yeah. See all your shoulders are real square. Yeah. I turn. Okay, so face the grass. Right? Now look at me with just your head. Sword? Yeah, a little bit better like that. Okay. Yeah, see how much more your shoulders back? You feel it at all?
No. To be real honest, I don't.
Do you have any questions about what you fail at on Sword and Punch Shield?
No.
Nothing at all?
No.
Alias walks away in shame.
Okay. Well, you said a small part. Come here, sir. Florentine. I like Florentine. All right, Mr. Florentine. I like Florentine. Very good. So your sword tip's a little high, not a big deal, not a huge big deal, and you're hunched over, right? Do you feel like your back is really exhausted at the end of the day?
I totally feel hunched over.
Yeah. You're just
It's the burden of this event.
Dragging ass all day. Yeah, so stand up, stand proud. All of you, if you're fighting something, stand proud. You don't have to hunch over. If you hunch over, you're really stopping your mobility for any shots and stuff like that. So if you hunch over, that's bad. Stand up, stand proud. You're a man, you're a woman, you're fighting your opponent, you're gonna win, right? Right? So my left hand is, shoulders are back. Left hand's in front of my solar plexus. Same way with sword and shield. This is how I fight. My right hand's here. Now if I want to tease my opponent to get a good step with my right hand's my dominant hand. I want to kill with my dominant hand. This is the one I practice hours and hours on the pedal with. I switch to my left leg forward, and I do it this way. So now my left leg, or my left hand and my left leg are facing my opponent, same fucking stance, and I'll tease my opponent. Try to get him to a position to where he overexerts himself, overdoes something, and as soon as he does, I step with my right. Look how much closer I am with this, right? Right? Yeah? Good killing stuff right there. So if you get to that point, if you're right-handed and you have nothing to do with your left hand, it just stands there, you definitely have to get it good. If you're gonna fight Florentine, it has to be good. Not great, it doesn't have to be sword knight quality. You can sit here and win fights by just chopping. If for some reason he comes an outside shot, I can chop. As long as I can land that shot, I'll take an arm for an arm, because now I've got my superior weapon over here in my right hand, right? Yeah, everybody following? All right, do you have any questions about Florentine, where you fail at?
Yeah, so I feel like I struggle a lot with how to position myself when I'm after throwing a shot or right before throwing a shot to make sure I don't get graped on the way in or out.
Okay, so Potato explained this in one of his videos. I wish I quoted it right off the top, but he has a house block thing. So you have 2 walls and then 2 roofs, right? Did anybody else watch that video?
Yeah,
right?
The house.
Yeah, the house of defense, is that what he calls it?
Yeah, so
I'm real terrible about that. So if you're coming in and they're swinging low, then you have your walls, right? So here's my wall here, here's my wall here, right? And if you're going out and they're swinging high, I got a roof here, I got a roof here, right? But it's going to take time to recognize what your opponent's throwing. So if you're going to throw a shot with your left hand, just anywhere, right? There's a roof, right? If you're going to throw anywhere else, whatever, there's a wall. So if you go from wall to roof, right? Right? So on the way in, if I'm coming in, I'm going to watch your swords, and on the way in, see what you're going to do.
Okay.
Try to get you to throw to this side shoulder, so I can get that block really tight. So if I got that block, I can now swing. If you throw something over on this side, I'm going to try to block and swing. Okay? Try to stay, I mean, if I'm on the inside of his swords, he has no other choice but to either get on the inside of my swords, right, or die. Because if he swings outside of my swords, it takes him too long to do what he has to do, right? Any sense? Everybody following? Yeah? All right. Next. Mr. Sword board. So good. You're on the ball. Thank you very much. All right. I don't have a strap shield. Anybody got a strap shield I can borrow?
Roman, throw your shield.
May I borrow your strap shield, Roman?
That way I can adjust to people's arms.
Or just don't share.
We're just going to share it. How do you do this every time? We should get like a green one. All right, so strap shields. What do you see you have a problem with strap shields?
They get painted into the top end.
Yeah?
Get right here.
Yeah, I did that a couple times with the pole, right?
Yeah.
So instead of dropping your shot, make sure if I'm throwing, I guess that was with the pole only. Do you do that with swords too? Yeah, so sword guys drop you too. You're really tall. I mean, you're really a shorter guy than most guys that I run into. I'm surprised that people throw at your legs. What I suggest is putting this is me, is putting your shield in front of your legs just a little bit. So that way, whenever they go for that, you can actually get it out of the way and then step on their swing, right? Okay. So if I'm going for your leg, move your leg out of the way, step and swing. Yeah. So you're not actually getting yourself out of position to block it. And if you have to block it because you're rushing in, just block it this way, you know? So that way you have the entire block. If they go for another shot, you just bring it right back up to return on their sword. Okay. Right? Yeah, so that way you're not doing this. Yeah. If they're faking you, there's a little you can do about your legs. You either soak it to the leg or you block with your sword, right? You can have your sword over here, which opens your shoulder too, because I'm blocking my arm now. Right? So, or you can block this way. But I mean, there's little you can do about your legs, except for move it out of the way. So if I'm faking you down here, just get out of the way. Back up, let them miss your leg, and hit them. Right? That's a good idea.
Yeah.
All right. So what else with the shield?
That's my biggest weakness. I'm sure there's other things I do wrong.
Oh, around here. Yeah. Another thing. The reason I don't fight with strap shields is because they're too rigid. That like you have to keep your shield here. If you fuck up and throw a dark side the wrong way, you're gonna die. You're gonna hit yourself in the face. I fight with a punch shield because I can do whatever I want with my punch shield. My punch shield can be anywhere and not get in my way here unless I put it in front of my sword here. Then with a strap shield, if we get in and start grinding, I've got to block this way for a top shoulder shot. If he's throwing, I've got to block here. If he's throwing somewhere else, I've got to block this way. So, right? It's a lot of movement. Whereas punch shield, I just take my punch shield and I stand here and do this, right? So I like punch shields way better than strap shields. Just too much governing for a punch shield. All right,
I actually recently made that decision myself. I haven't made a punch shield yet. So.
Yeah, I like your shield. Your shield's real comfortable. All right, anything else?
No.
Okay, Jetty? Another speed pole. Do you have one?
Full pull, not a speed pull.
That's fine. All right, Jetty, you are brand new.
Let's say you put a speed pole.
Speed pull's good.
All right, so you are brand new, sir. How many times have you fought? Yeah? That's pretty good, man. All right, so whenever I'm fighting with Paul, let me listen to this too. I don't want to. So whenever I'm fighting with Paul, stand over there. Okay. Sword and boards are our biggest weakness. Anybody else want to watch Pole? All right, stand over here on my left. Anybody else want to watch Pole? You're welcome to. All right, sword and boards are our biggest weakness. They run us all the time. So whenever you fight as sword and shield, what is your worst thing to get hit on? Sorry? Whenever you fight as a sword and shield, like we all fight sword and shield once or twice.
Yeah.
what is the worst thing to get hit in? That's already dick. Well, that's it.
I don't have that problem.
In the leg, the dick, you know, lowers your mobility, and then they just pin cushion you, right?
Right.
So, first of all, work on stance. Stand up in this area. All right. So, as a pole fighter, I fight with my right hand on my pole. Right? I fight opposite of all three of you. Yeah, so I fight this way. So try to mirror me and do it, you know, y'all's thing. No, stay. Do you like it better that way, Teddy? No? Okay. Yeah. So I fight with my fist over the top of my pole instead of under it. I feel I have more control for down shots. Yeah. Right? And I have more control for sweeps back and forth. And my left arm doesn't move all that much. My left arm at most moves in a circle. Right? My right arm does all of the work. See how my left arm is just barely moving? Right arm does all the work. So if I'm going to fake out my shield dummy here, not calling you a dummy, that's just your position on it. He doesn't want to get hit in the leg at all. So if we go for the leg, he's going to move out of the way. All right? So he's going to move out of the way. This is going to be a long fight. So we have to get into a position where he rushes us or does something like that. So if I go for the leg, he moves out of the way, he's going to take a step back eventually. When he does, he gets stabbed. Right? That was just letting go with his hand, stabbing right there. Right? There's also that nice pocket on his shoulder area. Y'all see that? Y'all get that at all? Jetty? Yeah. So you can get that stab right there pretty good. They know that. We know that. So now how do we exploit that, right? Legs. Legs all day. They do not want to get hit in the leg. As soon as they get hit in the leg, the fight is roughly over for them, especially a man of his age.
Wow.
I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. All right. So we have to look at our opponent's stance. Would you stand up next to him, please? All right. So what's the difference between these two gentlemen's stance?
Roman's hunching forward.
The leg is
He's got his leg forward more.
Yeah, the leg is further back.
You can snap Roman's hip.
Yeah.
He's got some exposures going on there.
Yeah.
You have a bigger gap here on the side.
Lucian's hand is way further out.
Yeah. Very good observations.
I would
Observance.
definitely be able to pop an arm.
Yeah. Well, unless he's baiting you.
Unless he's baiting.
Right. So if I go to pop that arm, and no, stay where you're at. Stay where you're at. So if I go to pop that arm and he blocks with his sword,
right.
Now he's pushing my pole away and stepping in, right? So now I have to chop, try to get him to keep him, and I'm returning, right? So that could be a bait.
Sure.
That definitely could have been. So if that's one of your things, is it a bait? Does he know about it? Well, let's find out.
Sure.
Let's just kind of throw something this way and see what he does. If he steps, kind of fake for that leg, right? Right? A rushing guy on a Russian guy, a guy rushing after you is more likely to fuck up than a guy sitting on his knees. Do you want the fight over pretty quick, or do you want to toy with your guy and just sit there and kind of like poke at him while he's down? You got to make that decision.
Right.
If you have no other choice, if you're fighting some like 3-4 shield guys at a time, leg them all day, and then fake for the leg, hit them in the shoulder, right? And so that looks something like, if we're fighting and I go for a leg, see how his shield kind of dropped a little bit, right? And I'm going to bring that straight up his shield and down. The chances of me getting a good shot on his shield and pushing that shield down are real high.
Is that the same with a speed pull as well, even with it? Okay.
Yeah, even with a speed pull. I've broken so many speed pulls doing exactly this. It just hits their shield and goes.
Yep.
Yeah, same thing. I mean, you just go for the leg, down, right? Pop that shield. That also keeps them a little wary because you're hitting the shit out of their shield, right? If for some reason a guy is charging you, right, and he comes after me a little bit, put that pole on his shield, right? He is going to have to push past that pole to get to you. At the same time, he's pushing my pole. Come on. I'm moving back.
Right.
At the same speed, he's pushing me. So you can keep your opponent there and let him ring you out as long as you have your pole between him. If for some reason he opens that shield to push it away, that's really bad for him, right? It's not something you want to do.
It's the dick.
Yeah, and all that was a quick, let him push it, move it under, stab. Right? Right? Good, Jedediah? Good? Right. That's why I started with a foundation. Thank you for realizing that. Yeah, it's the same thing we were doing earlier. A little C, and at the end, you pop it. Same with the outside. If for some reason he blocks that, come under, pop. If he blocks it with his shield like that, hit him in the shoulder. Right? Got it? Good? Good?
Yes.
Good? All right. Who is next? Anybody next? Do I have anybody?
Double swords.
Was that everybody?
Double swords guy.
Oh, yeah.
Florentine kid.
Oh, yeah. Florentine.
What
guy.
weapons?
Another sword.
All right, I'll let Penny go first.
You should be. Your eye looks like shit. Like just where you got shot at?
It's probably from when you kissed me.
Oh, it is. It is. That's definitely.
Get the ironies.
Okay.
Seeing it?
No, can't.
All right. So if we were fighting stance. All right. Do you always squat?
Yeah, I try to bend my knees. I just bend them too much.
Yeah. Don't. Yeah. Definitely. You realize it's too much. Definitely. So yeah. Good. Very good. Yeah. Your midsection is open a little too much. No. You were doing this. See how your sword, your left hand?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Put it more in front of your stomach, or in front of your solar plexus. Solar plexus?
Okay.
Where's your solar plexus? Right here. Okay. Now bring your thumb up just a little bit to your solar plexus. Shoulders. There you go. So you're fighting like this, right? Now we're mirror imaging each other, right? Right? So what do you have as far as, besides your stance goes, problems with fighting Florentine?
I'll throw shots outside all the time, and I do high crosses, and I'll do the same thing over and over and over
Okay,
again.
get a
without
Pel.
realizing.
Find a Pel and work on a Pel is. Everybody know what a Pel is?
Oh yeah.
Like
You
a
know
fighting buddy.
Pel. Okay, Pel.
Pal.
Pel. It's P-E-L-L. All right. All it is a torso-shaped object that you sit there and just put your just foot on it. Just stand there. All right. It's a torso-shaped object, kind of like this. There's one on the main Amp-Guard page, James Bain's Bell tutorial, something like that, and it shows you how to take a piece of PVC this long on a 4-way, and then goes into a cement bucket you get from Lowe's that goes into a bigger tube of PVC, right? And then you sit there with your swords, and you get your fighting stance, and you throw this shot over and over. Make sure reset, throw it, right? Reset, throw it. So no matter what, no matter if you're looking at it, no matter if he picks his hand up to pick his nose, you know you're going to throw this shot every time, no matter what. Do what?
I wasn't picking my nose.
Oh,
was rubbing
I just
my
saw
eye.
your hand move up to your nose. And they did the same thing, right? So now you can sit there and go, I wonder how I can get this sword and do something else. So to touch on what you're saying, sit there and go, okay, I want to work on this shot, right? Reset, this shot. I want to throw something that's not the high cross. I want to throw this shot,
Also need to
right?
practice feints. And
Things are good.
I jump sometimes when I'm on my feet.
I did that for a long time.
Yeah, instead of the whole dash.
It's a lunge.
I leave this wide open all the time, and people will just dig at my
Yeah,
ribs.
left-handers mostly, or right-handers.
I don't know.
Just all of them.
Yeah, everybody.
Everybody hits your ribs.
Ends up a little
Well,
sore after the day.
Yeah, so you can do that by, if you lunge forward and you know they're going to swing there, you just lunge forward like this. Now that closes off my rib areas, right? They would have to dig under my pommel to get into my ribs, right? So from here, lunge in.
Lunge in,
Yeah,
either side.
yeah, go ahead. You touched my belly, but lunge in for ribs. Right, that was leg.
I
can
hit
return.
people on the leg all the time when I go
Yeah.
through sets.
Yeah. So if you're throwing flat, the chances of them deflecting are probably pretty high. So if you're going to throw at an angle, right, bring that up. That little C we were working on earlier.
Okay.
Right? Any other questions?
Yeah.
Yeah. Work on it with a pad.
Okay.
Work on it with a
sounds
buddy. Block strike with it.
All right.
Do stuff that helps you with your footwork stuff. All right. Anybody else? Questions, real quick. Have I done with you yet? Okay. Step back. Punch it again. Can I borrow your shirt or scratch for your Sorry, touch on everybody. And this is yours. That's why I like that. There you go. All right. Can you get on this side so I can stare into the sun? And hopefully everybody can hear me. Y'all are hearing me okay now, right? Oh, it's all the background noise. All right, fight with your, whatever you're comfortable with. Fight me, right? All right, that's pretty good, yeah. So the only problem, same thing as earlier, your sword tip is in the wrong area. you're actually having to look around your sword tip, right?
Not too much.
Yeah. So bring it down just a little bit to my shoulder. Just a little bit, yeah. Can you see over it now? Just a lot better. So you can see anything that's going on in this area much better, right? And I don't know if you bait that really well, but the way you're standing is kind of like this.
Okay.
Yeah, see my arm and everything? Now look at it. Now do you see my arm differently? Yeah, just a little bit further out. Right? So I went from here, which is even with my shield point right here, to over here. So what it looked like for you, you look like you were standing here comfortable, right? That's
right.
Yeah. So what I'm suggesting is just moving it up just a little bit.
Okay.
So that way you have a greater chance of getting this block successfully. If your arm is too far over, this block is going to be lame every time, right? So
Yeah,
right?
sometimes.
Okay. So what do you have a problem with as sword and shield?
As sword and shield, my sword and shield was mainly my legs.
Your legs?
People go for my legs a lot, and then I'm down on the ground like this, and then it's just more of the fact of like they try to come on my shoulder and they keep hitting that same dead leg, and I'm just like, oh.
So I'll tell you the same thing I told him. If they're going to go for your leg, and you like a pull on goes for your leg, you can block with your sword one way or the other. You know, if you block your sword this way with a pull, the chances are they're coming from the right side. They're going to go up your sword, down on top of your arm, right? So you really have to make sure you're in control of that pull. I try to block everything this way, right? So that way I get the good solid block. If they hit me in the leg, I try to get that leg out of the way, right? As I move my shield into the way, and then as I step again to go, right? So if you can get your leg out of the way, that's the best thing to do. If you have to block it, you have to kind of, you know, come down to block it, right? So swinging my leg, right? Right? See how I didn't move anything? And my torso's still straight, right? I'm not hunching over. I just kind of bend my knees, right? 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 Everybody? Yeah? Okay. So do it again. Right? Leg. Right? Leg. Right? See where he's hitting? Right? So that's just me doing this. Right? Everybody got it? Yeah? So that's another option that you have if you're mobile enough. If I'm going to go for your leg. Left leg. Left leg. Left. Put your left leg forward, that one back. Alright? So I'm going to go for your leg. It's much better. Now if I fake you, you know, you have to be conscious of that. But there's a lot of time between them faking and bringing that sword out. So you have a little bit of time to recognize it. Now, if your right leg is forward, just get it out of the way and step back in. Right? That's my suggestion, for sure.
I try to use that as a bait sometimes.
Yeah,
doesn't
definitely
always work.
Yeah, I understand. Any other questions real quick? Nothing over what we went over?
Actually,
Okay.
how do you, I get this a lot with like certain more advanced players, but they keep, like I'll stand here like this, like a full good guard, and then all of a sudden it's just like, they just rush in at me past everything, and they just full on straight down the spine, and it's just like.
Well, if they're rushing, so I'll do it real slow. So if they're rushing, and they come in and they throw this, right? How do you keep them from getting their sword in? Step back. Step back. Yeah, like that. Right? So you could do that, or you could turn your shoulder. Right? So if I'm going to throw this way, just turn it. Now chop my arm. Yeah. So if you're going to swing from my shoulder, all I'm going to do is that. Right? Now if you fake me and go for this and turn in, I'm a little screwed, but that's what I have a sword for. So it would be look like this and come in there. So here to here. Right? That's another good shield shot too. You come up on a guy, you can actually fake this with your pommel and strike in the middle. And you don't have to high cross. High crossers everywhere. Just a windshield wiper into the stomach. Right? Yeah? Everybody? Alright. Alright, so I don't know how long we've been. Do you know how long it is?
35 minutes.
35? Alright guys, what other questions, styles that y'all have? Let's go over that real quick. Styles, any other style questions? Okay.
He probably has a question.
Any other style questions? Any other style questions? You only find sword and shield?
I do other stuff too with mostly sword.
Okay.
How do I single short and down bow?
Well, I'd have to have a down speed.
That makes sense.
Well, you would have to have a down spear too.
Okay,
So
There's that.
that's really long. All right, so most down spears, find a place that's comfortable for you. Build your down spear the way you want it. All right, so whenever you're fighting down spear, I fight with my down spear out front because it's my longest weapon. Okay. And then I tease them, right? Okay. Right, arms, stuff like that. So that way, if they rush me or anything, I just step back. Right? Yeah. Okay. So I really wish you had a down spear that you fought with that I could teach you more. Okay. Otherwise, this is just kind of me showing you how to do this with speed pole. So yeah, definitely get a down spear first off, right? Learn to block with your down spear. So I fight with
basic blocks and like.
I fight with a down spear because I don't like getting hit in the leg.
Okay.
So my down spear is there. If somebody comes in with a pole and swings at my leg, it's there. I can come off from here, swing here, stab, whatever I got to do, right? Get you a pel, stand at range with your down spear, and stab that pel in that spot. So yeah, every time you do it, you can get it from there. Okay. Also, you can throw shots to where you throw the shot and then push your fist down, which see the angle of the spear now, right? So as you throw it, it pops down and still goes in as you're throwing it, right? Yeah. If this was a regular down spear,
I wouldn't hit myself.
Yeah, it would look so much better, right? So work on those. Work on, slashing your opponent, getting those nice quick slashes in, right? If it's 18 inches. Yes. If it's a stab-only spear,
Would you recommend slash?
Yeah, always.
Okay.
Yeah. Slashing
you
spears.
can't throw.
Yeah. Almost.
What do you do with this sword?
Block with it.
You're just basically blocking?
Yeah.
Is it mostly this side and this side just this?
Yeah. So if somebody gets in past my down spear for some reason, this stays on my right side, and then this goes everywhere that I want, right? Okay. So blocking, throwing, stepping back, throwing, stepping back. If they rush me...
If people rush you, do you take a step back here, so that now you're single short?
It doesn't matter. Okay. Whatever I'm comfortable with. If I'm... Whoever's fighting me, if that's what happens, I'll do this, and then I'll fake with this, which gets them to look that way. I hit them on the right side. Okay. So 99% of all shield guys, can you step over here please? Shield guy. 99% of all shield guys fall for this. And it's stupid, right? So as a down spear user, I put my down spear behind me and I get threatening with my short sword, right? So I'm going to hit you and it will most likely be with my down spear. And then I'm going to hit you with my short sword. Right? So I take the down spear and I throw it, right?
Yeah. So they're focused on that, they put all the way down.
99% of every sword and shield user that I run into always takes their shield and goes like this. And then I hit them, and then it doesn't work for a few matches. And then I hit them again with it, and it doesn't work for a few matches, and I hit them again with it. So it's just a big movement from that down spear coming through that they focus, they're like, oh shit, I've got to block that. How do I do that? On lefties, there was a lefty around. Lefties, I do it the other way. So I step here, I throw, they block, I cross into their shoulder, right? Straight cross, not a high cross. No knee, right? So that's some down spear work. But first, you need a down spear. Okay. All right? Next person question? Pole stuff? What do you want to know?
Colby flow, I guess?
Colby flow?
Yeah. Ooh.
Colby flow. You're a flow fighter.
Stabby stab.
And you're a pole fighter. Yeah, here. Yeah, look, I just flow. So I just flow, stand up here. Can I see a pole?
Regular pole.
You want Adelins? Regular?
I want Adelins?
You want Adelins?
Don't tell me what I want.
You don't want this people.
Alright, so whenever I'm fighting against a Florentine fighter, I stab for center mass. 99% of the time, all Florentine fighters die to that, right? So if we're fighting, I'm probably going to stab you, I'm sorry, beforehand, right? So I get them set up, keep this moving in front of them. You never know where it's going to go. They don't know where it's going. If for some reason they lower their guard to swipe at it, and I'm moving as they swipe, and they barely get a block on it, and then I can come in, I can stab them, right? So same way with our single sword class that we did earlier about stabs, practical stabs, you could do it that way too. So, I mean, right-handed, whatever. So the same way we did with our stabs earlier, if we're going to be fighting this way, we want our pole to keep moving. If for some reason our pole gets static, we're just holding it here, they can time us and get to where they're past it and rush me and die, right? So whenever you're fighting, get them to where they're worried about this and stab it, right? There's no block, there's nothing they can do to block it, right? they're just going to take the brunt of it right into it, no matter where it's at, right? They're just going to keep stabbing them. Right? That's what you do with a pole. Now, for some reason, they do the block that he just did, right? Let's keep switching spots, please. So if he does the block that he just did and moves it, he's now probably going to rush me.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm going to go up and down on his other side because he's worried about my pole on the right side, left side. Right? So if I do that, he blocks. Now he has nothing. Right? Same thing. Yeah. You're going to step with that, right?
Yeah, and then I'm going to get raped. No, stop.
Yeah. Great. Is that what y'all call it?
Raped. Yeah.
Great. Right? So, yeah, always stab the piss out of them. They can't really block it all that well because they're Florentine guys. And you can do this all day long to Florentine guys as much as you want. And you kill two of them.
One blocks, he kills the other.
The speed pole the same way, yeah. You just stab center mass every time. You know, stab off from their dominant hand. If their dominant hand is the one out front, you're gonna stab in this way, right? So that way, whenever they block, they're gonna push the block into them, right?
Got it.
Yeah. And if something happens and you get into a position where they're rushing you, you just up, down, rush me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Up, down, up, down, up, down. Yeah, makes sense. Is that something that you do? Don't do?
Usually just, I don't know. People complain a lot when you stab the shot.
But
it's fun.
it's either that or taunt us.
Yeah. There you go.
All right. Questions with the pole lady? Questions?
She's smiling.
I'm so excited.
Did that help?
Yes.
Yes? Okay.
Yeah. So
Do you want somebody to stand out here as a Florentine fighter?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Any of you?
These guys.
No, I don't need it.
I'm getting stabbed in the soul.
It's really good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't fight poles.
So
Let Monkey do
the
it too.
rushing thing is like you're doing that. I'm like, oh, that's how I die every time.
Right?
Every time. I'm like, oh, I'm
Imagine
gonna
that.
die now.
Imagine that.
Yeah. No, seriously. And then like blocking, I don't do it.
Oh, that's another thing. So,
I
sword and
don't.
shield guy, would you come up and change places? All right, so a sword and shield guy rushes you. Poles, pay attention, please. Poles, and the rest of you, whatever, pay attention. If for some reason you stab at him, and then he rushes at that point, take a step forward. From here, stop. From here, this comes up, block here. Because he's going to swing to this side. Now take a step back with your left leg, chop.
If he stabs.
If he stabs, your block is still going, right? So even if you stab, now if he's stabbing, your block's still there. Turn, take a step back, chop. Yeah? Now, if for something happens and he comes up, go back to that position, please.
The stabbing.
Now, if he dark sides because he knows you're going to block it,
Which is going to.
right? Now go under your shield. You know what dark side is? Okay, go under your shield. Right? Now he steps up. No, that's not a dark side. Dark side comes over here. Right? As soon as that sword disappears under his shield, you walk on this right side.
Right.
Take a step back, chop the piss out of his shoulder.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
so
one.
that shoulder over there?
Yeah, I see
It's
that
on this
place
side,
now.
Yeah. Yeah, he's expecting a hit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just chop that shoulder because you're going to catch it as he's coming back up.
Right.
Right? Yeah. Take a step back. Chop. Yeah. Got it?
Yeah.
So as a right-handed fighter, anybody actually fight right-handed with their right arm forward? Anybody?
No, it feels weird.
Y'all are weird.
I fight with right-handed forward.
Do you?
With a pole, yeah.
Yeah, good. That's how you should fight. That's how you should fight. That's the American
But that's
way.
because I'm left-handed.
I'm a lefty.
All right, so as a right-handed fighter, same way, left hand's in the back. If I do something and he rushes me, now stop, do your whatever you're gonna throw something. All right, I'm here now, right? I saw his sword disappear under the shield. Now I block. I'm gonna step back, same thing, throw. Now if he rushes in and he wants to get to the rest of my line and he's gonna hit me on my left side, it's the same thing. Throw, block, see my step, block, step, throw.
Oh, nice.
Disarm.
Super move.
So it's the same thing, y'all's backwards ass and righties, same thing.
Backwards.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Questions about running a pole?
Don't do it. It's a horrible idea.
What she
Discourage
said.
it
I'm with
all the
her.
time.
You know how I would mix all this. Like, I just block it and then right with my shoe.
I just throw dollar bills at it.
So one problem that I keep
Yes, sir.
for finding Because a lot of people who use a pole will have like crushing on it or something.
Yes.
And what they'll do is if I do try to rush them, what they will do is they'll just continue to keep stepping back and just wail away on the sheet.
Well, then tell them that wasn't significant force and keep your shield.
Cast Hardened Warrior. Shit.
Yeah, where's your heart at?
I was playing Barbarian.
At that point, that's battle game mechanics. You're gonna have to put your sword in the way of your shield to keep them from doing that. I mean, that's not really.
That's the reason why I play Warrior, so that way when they're like, oh look, I got crushing breaking, and I just go, I don't care.
Yeah. Right.
I do too.
Enchantments are a thing. Anybody else have questions about this?
Speaking of barbarians, we get a lot of people that roll around with like giant two-handed swords. Like, how do you treat those? Like, are there any sweet tricks for just wrecking them?
All right, so this is completely off the camera. Okay. All I do is hit